Joining us right now on MMA Junkie is the one heavyweight champion of the world, Brandon "The Truth" Vera. Brandon, first off, how are things with you? It's all quite lively in the world right now. Everyone trying to sort of make their way through this pandemic. But how are things with you?
You know, like everything else in life, I'm good. I cannot complain. I'm thankful for what we have. We just keep moving forward. It's a time to be learning a lot about yourself and things that you didn't know about. So I'm taking this time as a blessing. Honest to God, honest to be. Yeah, it's a blessing.
And it's kind of weird. I mean, you make your living from getting in a cage and fighting, and you're not able to do that right now. I know you have other business interests outside of the cage, and you're doing pretty well for yourself as a self-entrepreneur almost. So what are you doing aside from trying to stay in shape for fights during this pandemic? How are you keeping busy?
I'm actually working on our house. We're here in Guam. It was either go to my home province, Tagkawayan in the Philippines, which would have been maybe 12 to 16 hours depending on traffic and checkpoints, or I fly to Guam, which is probably 3.5 hours away. As long as you deal with the Manila traffic, you're good to go. Our doctor told us get out of Manila, take care of the baby, go to Guam or Tagkawayan, I don't care, just go. And our doctor is probably our best friend now because, in Tagkawayan, there's 0 cases. And in Guam, there's only been 100-something cases with only 5 deaths. So staying home, staying away from everybody, jungling, clearing a path on the property, and really just working on the house, paying attention and keeping the circle small. We say hi to people at a distance. And, man, I guess try to stay sane like everyone else.
Yeah, and how is it dealing with the family addition as well?
Man, it's I don't know. I don't know how it feels. It's like a new thing, a new feeling, a new thought process, like a new world every day. Because I don't know. This is our first child, son, and I just want to make sure that I raise him right. He's a good man. He's a sheepdog, and he helps society. I want to make sure that he benefits the world. And man, as a father, I guess first-time father, I'm worrying about all of this stuff. Then I'm worrying about my pregnant boss at home and helping take care of her and making sure that she's comfortable all the time, because I can only imagine, man, using that superpower has got to be so tiring. And dude, you're building another body inside, It's something like Iron Man wishes he could do. Tony Stark wishes he could do, just create people inside people, And so all of this is keeping us busy. And, I said that this is a blessing. I never look at it's sad. People are dying. The pandemic's real. I think the panic is fake. But I think I always find the light at the end of the tunnel. And the light in this tunnel right now of the pandemic is, with all the bad that's going on in the world, I actually get to take care of my family, hang out, and take care of the property, and set up so that when the family grows, we're ready. So, like you said, man, how am I taking it with the addition of the family? I don't know, really. I'm just trying. I think I'm doing okay. I think we're doing all right.
That feeling will be constant all the way through, even as they start. The thing is, there is no getting used to it because the goalposts move every time they have a little developmental step. Just when you think you've got it sussed, trust me, you haven't. I've got 2 daughters. I've got an 9-year-old now, and a 2-year-old, and it is lively. Let me tell you. But you will get used to this.
That's my favorite advice. The goalposts keep moving. So I think that's my favorite advice I've ever heard so far.
It's like MMA fighters love talking about being uncomfortable. Was it being comfortable in the uncomfortable?
Yes, that's what we need to do.
That's parenting right there. So you'll be fine.
Comfortable.
That's it. That's it right there. A little bit of advice.
Oh man.
There you go. But speaking of MMA, your career in one championship has been quite astonishing, really. You had your time over in the States. You've gone over to one championship and you've become this superstar there, heavyweight champion of the world, first round knockouts every time you defend your belt. What's it like being a one championship world champion, you know, the responsibility, the media demands. I know there's a great emphasis placed on you as an ambassador as well. So I mean, talk to us about that.
You know, it's you get to realize that what you do is bigger than just the sport of martial arts, the sport of MMA, the sport of all of the martial arts coming together. It's more than. It's you as a person, it's you as an ambassador, it's you as a good citizen of the world, promoting goodwill and helping everywhere that you can. Always showing and striving for the values, honor, discipline, integrity. You know, the company values, how can I explain this? The company values will resonate through each individual employee at one championship. And that's just the employees, because they look for a certain type of employee. When you come over as an athlete, these 7 key martial arts guidelines, facets, live by your life, these rules, they mean a lot to all of these professional athletes. And now when you join a company that is doing business this way, they're doing meetings this way, they're doing everything a certain way by the martial arts code, it's very easy for you as an athlete to come over and transition into this role that they want from you. They want you to become the most perfect martial artist that you can become, and they want you to become an ambassador for the world of goodwill. When somebody is doing these kind of things and not just showing these kind of things, like, you know, I would say doing it for the gram, or, you know, Facebooking it, TikToking it, you know, it's not for show. Like, it's real. The heart behind this company, the thought process behind it, the way they treat their partners, they take the athletes, they take the world champions to almost every single high official meeting that they have. And they let us mingle with everyone. And we hear some of the stories of sharing and caring and events that they put together, and it doesn't end. So for me, working at one championship doesn't even feel like a job. I don't feel like I'm working, you know. I'm training every day to stay healthy in my career path, and I get to go against somebody who thinks they can take me down every once, twice a year. Being part of one championship seems like just being part of a family trying to help better the world. And man, it's very motivating to stay the best and become the best that you can be all the time with somebody like that in your corner.
See,
on your back. God.
So are you saying that you actually end up participating in sort of their high-end business meetings with potential partners and things like that? You're brought in as almost as part of a pitching team or a negotiating team. How does that work?
I would definitely not say part of the negotiating team. We don't talk about number. Yeah, we don't talk about any of that stuff. We just come in and say hello. We introduce ourselves, and then we you know, some people we click with, some people we don't, and that's really all it is for. Can we make a connection? Do we have anything down the road that we can work on together? Are there projects that maybe we fit in together now? How can we help benefit each other? And it's always like that. Always, always, always. It's not one championship saying, hey, you got to go through here, go through here, to go through here. No, if you guys have business together, call each other. Let us know. If we can help, let us know. It's an amazing thing, man. They are, I don't know, man. They just help you build your network and help you understand the world. It's an amazing company. I wish I could tell you more. I wish I could show you everything that we do. But, man, Mr. Eddie Alvarez came over, yeah? From all of the organizations he went to all around the entire world that he held belts in, came over and asked me, hey, Brandon, is this really real? Or is this just like the honeymoon period? So no, man. Mr. Alvarez, it's like this every single day. There's no honeymoon period. And then when he started shaking his head, and you start to understand, like, wow, this is not a front. Nobody's pretending. Everybody really wants everyone to do well and succeed and help promote health throughout the world and goodwill. And I keep saying goodwill, man, because everybody has their own version of goodwill and helping, you know. One Championships just wants you to shine in your own way and help the world as you can. And they'll show you. They'll show you showing out for the world, you know, like if you're doing some program or you're doing this or you're doing that, man, they'll film it, cut it up for you, send it, post it. They'll film it they'll post it on their sites. They don't want anything. They just want you doing well. It doesn't make sense, you know, like compared to all the other organizations. It's not normal.
Well, let me ask you this, because you fought in the States. Obviously, you fought in the UFC. So the UFC and One Championship, you know, they're kind of like the brand leaders in their respective parts of the world. Yeah. So, but they're run very differently. The way they're marketed is almost polar opposites to each other. And with One Championship, could One Championship and the way that they do things succeed in the States? I know that that's something that they've been kind of suggesting that they might one day come over to the United States. It might even have happened this year, but for the pandemic, who knows? There's not that much. There isn't that much time in 2020, possibly. But if they did bring themselves over,
Yeah.
first off, how much would it mean for you to be on a card in the States representing One? And also, how do you think the American mixed martial arts audience would react to the way One Championship does things and the way that they promote themselves? How would it be received, do you think? And also in the media as well.
I think One Championship would honestly take America by storm. I don't think they were almost ready for Pride. They were almost ready for that style, the Bushido code. They were almost ready back then. And it fell apart. Life happens. Things happen. Look, the pandemic, right? But what One Championship is offering now is what Pride had with 6 turbos on it and nitrous ready to kick in. I think the US of A would love this product and absolutely adore it as soon as it hit the stands. Because the American culture is doing it for the gram, doing it for Facebooking, TikToking. If we can bring this product to the US as soon as possible to compete with all of the other brands, and you can see that this is as real and as true martial arts from their home life to the middle of the circle, and no bad press. You have real heroes who never get in trouble, don't do things wrong, and try to stay by the book. I think America would eat it up, especially at this time right now. People are looking for a guiding light, something that's shining, that's not, I would say, I don't know, fake or a front. It's not a sideshow. It's really real. So I think the American crowd, especially right now, could use this in our lives. It's something that, man, the universe is drawing us to it. It's time. It's probably time. And man, on top of this, I can tell you at least 70%, 80% of all athletes have been calling, emailing, texting, Facebooking, DMing, IGing, PMing, trying to get on the One Championship roster one way or another. And I'm talking about guys from other organizations, you know. You know it. You've heard the rumors. Guys from top 10 in different weight classes ready to move on. So I think as soon as One Championships kicks the doors down and does a show in the US, the floodgates will open for a lot of different things, for a lot of different athletes, a lot of different fans, and the growth of the sport in the United States, like it has been. I think it'll just double now, because now you'll have 2.
And in terms of your own personal career, you know, you've achieved a hell of a lot, you know, especially since you've gone over to to 1. What are the remaining goals for you? Because without being too, you aren't as old as I am, but you're at the, I would say, probably at the veteran stage in your career at this point, right? And how many more fights do you envisage having, and what more goals have you still got for for your MMA career?
My goal is to fight in Madison Square Garden in New York if we get to go to the United States. Goals, honestly, everybody keeps asking what the future holds, and I don't know. I'm super excited just to be competing again. I say this all the time. People ask me, when are you ready to go? What do you think? How long? This, that. I've asked everybody that's retired, all my good friends, all the old champions, and asked them, how did you know you were ready to retire? Every single one of them said, you just wake up one day, I haven't woke up and decided that day was yet. So I figure when I find out, I'll let the rest of the world know, but not the day, devil.
And have you got any inkling as to, return date is a little bit tricky right now because we just don't know, but if you got any idea as to who you're likely to be facing when that time comes, do you have a name lined up? Is there somebody who you're already mentally preparing for?
I'm still expecting my first bout back for our one championship heavyweight world champion title defense will be against Arjan Bhullar, and I'm 95% sure that that's still going to happen when I get back into the center of that circle.
Awesome.
So I'm prepared. We're preparing for Bhullar, mentally, physically, all of it.
Brilliant. And final one from me. Really appreciate the time. What can we expect from the truth once this pandemic's over and we're back in the swing again and fights can happen again? What's this next chapter in Brandon Vera's career going to look like when we look back on it?
When I get back to it, I'm going to be going twice a year until I'm done because I'm really, really ready and excited to get back in. I need the competition. I miss it. Nowhere near ready to be gone, and we're going to keep that belt until we're ready to decide that we're ready to quit and call it a day and retire. No time soon. We'll keep the title till then.